Throughout history, humanity has pushed the boundaries of science, but some experiments crossed into darkness, revealing our deepest flaws. From unethical medical trials to psychological horrors, these studies remind us of the fine line between progress and cruelty. Our journey begins in the 1940s, where the Tuskegee Syphilis Study exploited African American men under the guise of free healthcare. Participants were told they had bad blood and were left untreated for syphilis, even after a cure was discovered. Over 40 years, 399 men suffered, and many died, all for a study that offered no benefit to them whatsoever. In 1972, the study was exposed, leading to a public outcry and new ethical guidelines for medical research. But the darkness didn't end there. In the 1950s, the CIA launched Project MKUltra, a mind control program using drugs and torture. Subjects were given LSD without consent, subjected to sensory deprivation, and even electroshock therapy to break their wills. Some victims suffered permanent psychological damage, their lives shattered by these clandestine experiments. MKUltra was finally shut down in the 1970s, but many files were destroyed, leaving the full truth buried in secrecy. Across the Atlantic, in Nazi Germany, Dr. Josef Mengele conducted horrific experiments on concentration camp prisoners. He performed cruel surgeries without anesthesia, injected dyes into eyes, and subjected victims to extreme pressure and temperature tests. His goal was to advance Nazi racial theories, but his methods left countless dead and scarred for life. After the war, Mengele escaped to South America, evading justice while his victims struggled to rebuild their lives. The Nuremberg trials established the Nuremberg Code, emphasizing informed consent and ethical treatment of human subjects. Yet, despite these codes, unethical experiments continued. In the 1960s, the Milgram Experiment tested obedience to authority. Participants were told to administer electric shocks to a learner who was actually an actor as they screamed in pain. Despite the distress, 65% continued to the highest voltage, showing how easily ordinary people can commit harm. The Stanford Prison Experiment in 1971 also revealed the dark side of authority as guards became abusive and prisoners passive. The experiment was stopped after 6 days, but participants suffered lasting psychological effects from their roles. These studies highlight how situational factors can override individual morality, a lesson still relevant today. In the name of science, children were also victimized. The Willowbrook State School study infected mentally disabled kids with hepatitis. Parents were told their children would receive better care, but instead, they were deliberately exposed to the disease. The study aimed to understand the disease's progression, but it exploited vulnerable populations with no voices. Public outrage led to reforms, but the scars on these children and their families remain to this day. Another dark chapter, the radiation experiments on unsuspecting Americans during the Cold War, often without consent. Prisoners, pregnant women, and even cancer patients were injected with plutonium to study its effects on the body. Many developed cancers and died, their suffering hidden behind classified reports and national security claims. These experiments continued into the 1970s, when the public finally learned the truth through investigative journalism. Today, ethical review boards and informed consent are mandatory, but the legacy of these experiments still haunts us. We must remember these dark experiments to ensure they never happen again, and to honor the victims. Science and progress should never come at the cost of human dignity and basic rights. As we move forward, let these stories remind us of the importance of ethics and research. We hold the power to choose compassion over cruelty and transparency over secrecy. Thank you for watching. Remember these lessons, and let us build a future where science serves humanity, not harms it.